Hello, everybody. Hello, Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers. Thanks for joining me today. I am late. I'm late, so I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to find me and make sure that you have a chance to join the fun today. So today we are going to create with the absolutely adorable Darling Details bundle. And I think I featured this one other time, but now that I'm offering my free classes with the projects that we created, I wanted to circle back around and use it again. So I'm going to make sure that I am live in the right place and that everyone can hear me. And it looks like I am in the right place and you can hear me. So that's awesome. All right, so welcome. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining me. I'm really glad you're here. You know, this is a highlight of my week, and I hope that it's something you look forward to as well. I'm going to give everyone just a couple of minutes to find me. Make sure that you get to join us for the fun. I wanted to make something really simple and then something that's a little more detailed, and I pulled in lots of different products today. So I'm looking forward to sharing today's projects with you. So when you jump on, say hello and let me know you're here. I always enjoy knowing who I'm chatting with. And thanks for coming. I hope you had a great week. I hope you're looking forward to a nice weekend. And I hope everyone enjoyed celebrating America's birthday this week. All right. So welcome. I'm glad you're all here. You know, I just realized I forgot all my printouts of all the promotions that are going on right now. How did I do that? Oh my goodness. I will just have to tell you about them. So happy Friday, everyone. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes because there's so many exciting things happening with Stampin' Up! Right now that I do have a few announcements before we get started. And then I will share with you these super cute cards. Aren't they cute? I hope you like them. I thought they were really cute. All right, so I'm going to get started. So hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining me. Happy Friday. I'm glad you're here. It's hard to believe it's Friday again. I feel like the weeks go by in the blink of an eye. So today we are going to work with the Darling Details stamp set and coordinating Darling Details dies. I love this bundle. It's one of the first bundles that I snatched up and put on my order when the annual catalog went live. And although I'm not a huge floral person, this just spoke to me. And I really like the sentiments and the fonts. I think they're really versatile because you get a little of everything. And I like this cute scripty font. So we are going to create 3 projects today using these. So let me show them to you. So I wanted to show you one really quick card that you could make in a flash if you needed a card fast. It's very simple, but you could always dress it up a little bit. And I'm going to show you another version when we create today. Then we have this cute card that features the frames. There's 2 framed dies in this die set, which I really like. And it's really cute, this little eyelet lace. And then last but not least, I wanted to share this card with you. And you might recognize this because I cased myself from a previous live. Hi, Robin, welcome. You might remember this card. And I made another version of it and changed it up just a tiny bit by adding more to it. But I thought it was so cute. And since you have the chance to earn these card kits free when you shop with me, I thought I would bring it back and give you the chance to be able to make it. So this is what we're going to make today. But before we get started, I do want to share many specials that Stampin' Up! Is offering right now. And I forgot all my handouts upstairs. They're not even in my office, so I'm not going to run and get them, and I apologize. But Stampin' Up! Had a new set of online exclusive products released yesterday. They're lovely. You may have seen me feature these before, but I do have a couple things right here I can grab. These were not upstairs. These were in my office. So I ran to get them. So here's everything else is on its way to me. It shipped yesterday. I paid for expedited shipping to treat myself. So this is the One Horse Open Sleigh paper. This has been shared quite a bit now. I did share this previously as a sneak peek. I love the patterns. So look at how adorable this is. I just love this. Look at that tiny little deer with the giant ears. So cute, right? So this paper has scene patterns on one side and then really great subtle patterns on the back. I love this paper pack. I like the colors, blues, greens, and reds. Really neat patterns. And this is going to be really fun to create with. So this is one of many products in the online exclusives. I agree, Robin. I think the paper is amazing too. And one of the other products are these really pretty sequin snowflakes. They come in metallics. There's white, gold, and copper. They're very pretty. There's 3 different sizes. Then there's a gorgeous red ribbon with gold polka dots. There's a really cute floral bundle. There is a sleigh ride bundle. There is my favorite, a little bundle that has an old-fashioned truck and it has a coordinating punch. It's so cute. The stamp set has already become unavailable, but it's okay because Stampin' Up! We create our own stamps, so they will get those back in stock here in just like a week. I think it was like a week out. The punch is still available, which is great because that's the harder item to get. So that's great. That's on its way. And there were some other items. So jump in my online store, go under what's new. All those items will drop down. You can check them out. They are while supplies last. So I can't guarantee they're going to be around for a long time. So let me tell you what I have coming up. On July 30th, Sunday, July 30th, from noon to 4, I am hosting my Christmas in July. It's going to be here in person, but I am going to offer a virtual option if you would like to create with your kit and your PDF on your own. I'm happy to create a kit for you. It is going to include some of these snowflakes. It is going to include half a pack of this awesome paper, so you will get 2 pieces of each of these. And since this is a 6x6 collection, I tend to include a little more of it than with our 12x12 because I want to make sure that you have enough pieces to do all the things you'd like to do. And it will include the truck bundle and punch and stamp set. So I will get the registration form for that up today so that you can RSVP, and I'm going to be ordering those truck bundles as they become available. So I want to make sure that if they do go out of stock, as many of you get them as want them. And I am going to offer an option if you have the truck bundle already, because I know a lot of people jumped on and ordered that yesterday for fear it might sell out. So if you have it, you can select the option where you get your own truck and punch bundle. So I would love to have you join us. It's going to include 2 classes. And it's going, like I mentioned, it's going to be in person here, and it will be a 4-hour event. And it won't be recorded, but there will be a PDF. So if you would like to create it on your own, I would love to create a kit for you. There's going to be some goodies in there, just saying. And you can use your PDF and enjoy creating for Christmas in July. So that is exciting. So Stampin' Up! Also is offering a paper pumpkin sale. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you enjoy a good discount, they have half off refills, add-ons, and past Paper Pumpkin kits in the online store. That sale is only yesterday and today. If you're not a subscriber and want to take advantage, it's not too late. Jump in, get yourself signed up as a subscriber, and then you can go into the store and shop those discounts. We also have a clearance rack refresh that went up yesterday. Tons of products, like 4 pages, tons of stuff, stamps, dies, ribbons, and embellishments. Deep discount. Some embellishments were like $1 something. I mean, really great deals. So check that out. And the best part, if you spend at least $35 with me in my online store using this host code, I am going to give you today's class free. You will get kits to make 2 each of these 3 cards. You can order whatever you would like as long as it's at least $35 in product before shipping and tax. You will get these, but you need to use this host code so that I know you want this kit, because each kit will have a different host code, okay? Now, if you spend at least $50, I'm also going to include this extra gift of these really pretty iridescent pastel gems. It's what I'm going to use to complete the projects today. Now, your projects will come like this. You will have all the paper products in your envelope as well as any ribbons and trims. But the embellishments, you can use something you have, or if you bump up to that $50 level, you can get these free, or you can just choose to put them on your order. But you're going to need your bundle to create these projects or substitute something you have. All right? I don't do any stamping, and I don't die cut any items that need these dies to die cut, but all the other die cutting and embossing will be done for you. All right? So again, you will get 2 each of these 3 kits, and that's free as my thank you for being my customer. All right. So let's start creating. So let's start with this, with the quick and simple card that we're going to make with this bundle. Now this bundle can be found, I just had this open and I close it. So let me get it open again. So this Darling Details bundle can be found on page 68 of your annual catalog. So here it is shown here, very cute, whimsical floral set. I love that there's 3 different size flowers and they have dies. So you have this cute outline, this daisy type, and then a small little posy. And then you also have stamps that fill in the color, or you can color them on your own or leave them white. Then you have some really nice sentiments and then some dies. And let me show you these dies. You get 2 sheets of dies. It's a huge die set. So you get 2 sheets, which include these lovely frames and this really pretty border die, which we are going to use on this project. Do you see how pretty that border die is? Lots of detail on that. I love it. And then you also have some coordinating accent dies that don't cut out your stamps. So you have some leaves and floral images, but then you also have your open dies to cut out all your stamped images here. All right, it's a huge die set, and I've really enjoyed using this. I've used it quite a bit already. It tends to be my go-to floral set right now. All right, so I wanted to show you a quick and easy project just using some of the stamps to create this card. Now you can make this as detailed or simple as you would like. And what I love about it is you can make it in any color. So your project kit is going to come like this. You're going to get your card base. It will be scored. You're going to get all your paper pieces in here. The only thing you will need to finish this is any embossing folder of your choosing. All right, so any embossing folder, and then I will be including this little die cut piece for you. So I used the Painted Textures embossing folder to create this card, but I wanted to show you an alternative by using this polka dot embossing folder from the Basics 3D embossing folder collection. This is one of our online exclusives. It comes as a 3-pack. I have used this a ton. When they say Basics embossing folders, it is just that. It is Basics embossing folders. They are good patterns that will work for a lot of different projects. So on this project, I went with Black and Lemon Lolly. I'm going to mix it up to show you an alternative, since you can use any color ink that you have on hand. I'm going to mix it up and make it pink and black, sorry, and use Bubble Bath, our new light pink that is new to our core color line. And then, of course, you will get your ribbon, which is this black and white gingham ribbon. I love this, and I love pink and black together. And as soon as I have those two colors, I always reach for this. Now, again, all these projects are going to use these beautiful iridescent pastel gems. They come in 2 sizes and 3 colors. With your order of at least $50, I'm going to give you a full pack of these. And if your order is less than that, it's okay. If you get your card kits, you can substitute and use any embellishment that you have on hand. So let's get started. So let's open our card kit here. So I have a thick basic white card base. I just kind of want those colors to pop. I'm going to score it well at this 5.5 inch mark, which is halfway. And then these are cut the same size, so I'm just going to offset them a little bit and let that pattern peek out from behind. If offsetting doesn't work for you, I know it took me a long time to be able to look at this and not let my need to make things straight go crazy. But if you prefer it as a layer, you can simply trim down your white piece when you make your card, and it would still look super, super cute. But I'm going to offset mine like this. But first we need to do some stamping. So I'm going to get myself a little scrap of grid paper here so that I can keep my work surface clean. And we are going to stamp the bubble bath flowers all over our project. So I'm going to use the big flower. You could substitute and mix it up if you want, but I'm going to use this outline, and then I'm going to use the inside, and I'm going to show you some tricks to getting this image really nice when you stamp it. You can see there's a little bit of detail. This is really dark. Let me adjust my lights. I'm hoping it doesn't look as dark as it seems. Okay. Let me know if it's looking really dark to you today. So as you can see, there's some detail built into these stamps, and I want to make sure that your image maximizes that look because it really is pretty. So I'm going to start by taking my outline stamp and randomly stamping pink flowers all over my pad is really juicy, so I'm just going to slide a little of that ink out of the way. You can see I'm getting some of the inside of my stamp from the bubbles. So let's just flip this over and start over. So all I did, my pads are brand new. I treated myself to a new set when we updated our color lines, so my pads are really juicy. So I just slid a little bit of that ink out of the way, and as you can see, it's working just fine. If that happens to you, all you need to do is just take something that won't damage your pad and just move that ink. So I just simply stamped that randomly all over my project. Okay, so next I'm going to take my inside. Now for the inside, regardless of your stamp pad, you are going to want to move ink unless your pad is already really, really dry. I like to use the back of my block because they're nice and smooth. I've not damaged my pad yet, but still do be careful. You see how I moved the ink out of the way so that my stamped image won't be too inky? That's going to allow the detail in this stamp to come through. So I'm just going to simply line it up over my stamped image, and you don't have to be exact, but it is pretty easy to line up. And I'm just going to do this to every flower that I stamped. Oh, look what I did. I just stamped my little banner up there. That's okay. And I am not over my flower, so hopefully I'm getting these lined up pretty well. Look how cute that is. Isn't that cute? Now, if you would like, you could add some of the leaves. I didn't add leaves, but you certainly could, and it would dress it up. But maybe I will do that. Maybe I will take one of the leaf stamps and just come in and add some leaves here. And again, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but you just kind of want to fill in the space a little bit so that your card doesn't have too much white space, but it's going to look cute either way. I do have some space here, so I'm going to kind of bring those leaves right in there like this. There, isn't that cute? Very easy. All right, so now take any embossing folder of your choice. Again, I'm going to be using this really cute polka dot folder, and since you've already stamped your paper, make sure that you're going to get it embossed or debossed in the right direction. So I'm going to put it on this side so that those little polka dots come up. I'm going to actually, because I'm going to be putting a tag up here and it's going to be covering some of these leaves, I just realized I'm going to bring in a couple of leaves down here. There we go. All right, once you emboss, it makes it really hard to stamp because you don't have an even surface. All right, so I'm going to slide this in here and run it through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I like this card because it's, by creating your own pattern to the paper, you could make any pattern you wanted and it would look cute. So now I'm just going to offset that black so you have that little pop of color behind there. Isn't that cute? Look how cute that is. And I'm going to adhere it in place. So what I like to do is check to see which way I want it angled. And if you want more of the black showing, you could always trim this a little smaller as well. So I think I kind of like it like this. And once I get the angle how I like it, I don't lift it up. I keep it together, and then I take my adhesive and I just fold this up and do a little bit like that, and then on the other side and do a little bit like that, and then I just leave it like that. Okay, then I'm going to put some, look how cute, isn't that adorable, the little yoga sloth? I think that's so cute. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. And center this and stick it right in place. There we go. Very simple. So now I'm going to use this little piece of white that's in here, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment and make a little banner tag. So I'm going to pull in these Nested Essentials dies. I've been using these a ton. I love the detail that you get by using them, and it's really hard to appreciate in the catalog. I know I've pointed this out before, but there's 3 different shapes, and each shape has a different detail. The banner is double stitched, the rounded rectangles are pierced, and these really cool shapes have like a rope pattern that embosses into the edge when you die cut it. And I can show you here. Isn't that neat? Can you see that detail that kind of embosses into the edge of that die cut? Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully the camera is picking it up because it is really nice. So I'm going to die cut my little label. I'll put this through my little mini embossing machine here. Okay. And you can see the pretty detail on there. Isn't that pretty? I really like that. It adds so much to your project. Just those little details that you get in the dies. And a lot of times, like I had mentioned, you can't really appreciate those when you're seeing it in the catalog. All right. Now I'm going to take some black ink and I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And I really like this hello there. I think it's cute. It makes for a nice kind of like all-purpose, all-occasion note that you can create. So hello there. I'm going to stamp it not centered, but just offset a little to the lower part of this label because I want room to put a little bow up top. So then I will put some dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to use my little mini dimensionals. Thanks, Robin. I'm glad you like this. All right. And then I'm just simply going to use my, I like using these for placement. I'm just going to kind of set it up here. And then add a bow, a little gingham bow. And you will get this in your card kit. So you will be able to make your bow. And again, you will get the supplies to make 2 of these. So you can use whatever color ink you have on hand. Now, you can dress this up a little bit by adding some splatters, either with Wink of Stella or black ink. I did put some black ink on this one, so you can see which one you like better. Actually, maybe I'm going to pop this off for just a moment and add some little Wink of Stella. This one might be kind of dry. Yep, I'm getting a few, but not many. Let's see if I have another Wink of Stella. Usually I have a Wink of Stella that's out here by my recording table, but it somehow must have gotten. Let me see if I can push some more ink down in there. I can see splatters, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. Okay, now you will want to give that just a little moment to dry, so don't rub it. And then we can add our sentiment back on. I just want to get it straight. And then I will fold a glue dot in half and then use my ribbon. Whoop. And again, this is just a simple card. Oh, good, Robin. Robin can see the splatters. Thank you. This is just a simple little card. You can make it for any occasion. It would make a great card to gift to friends. Just make a few and tuck them in a little bag. And decorate them up really cute. And then let's decorate the inside a little bit too, or you can leave it plain. I'm just going to take my flower. little flower on the inside. And there's your first card. Isn't that cute? So you will get these 2 card kits with your paper products, and you can use whatever ink you want. Now, we do need a few gems on there, so let me take my pretty little gems here and decide which of the colors I would like to add on there. You don't have to add gems if you don't want, but gems are always cute. Ooh, I kind of like these. Pretty. So I'm going to create kind of like a little there we go. There we go. Isn't that pretty? This one I use them to add a little flower center. So you can choose to put them on there whichever way you want. But you can see it doesn't matter what embossing folder you use. It's still pretty. It's just to add some texture and detail. And you can decide which embossing folder you have that you love and want to use on these projects. All right, so let's move on to our, oh, I wanted to show you another color that I did. So I stamped some Blackberry Bliss, and you can see Blackberry Bliss is really pretty too if you want it to look more dramatic. You can use a different color. I stayed with yellow and black and pink and black and made it kind of more of a soft tone. So you can decide which one you like. All right, so let me set these aside and move on to project 2. Okay. Project 2 uses that really cute frame that comes in your die set. And again, I kept it clean and simple. You could mix up more colors if you wanted to. It's your choice. But we are going to use Sweet Sorbet as our card base with a Sweet Sorbet layer. So here's our card base and our layer that we are going to cut our frame out of. Then we're also going to have a white piece that we're going to layer underneath. Then you'll need some basic white for your flowers and sentiment, and then a piece to put on the inside so that you can stamp your card. We have a few different inks we're going to use. We're going to use black for our sentiment, and then Sweet Sorbet and Granny Apple Green for our flowers. And I'm going to add in one more stamp. I'm going to bring one more stamp into this for this one and show you a little variation. You can decide which one you like. And then, of course, some of my favorites, some of the Simply Elegant trim, which I use a lot of, and you'll get a piece of that for your bow. All right, so I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 and burnish it well with my bone folder, and then I'm going to add in my inside so that I don't accidentally stamp on that. Just put that in the center like that. Okay. Now let's do some stamping. So we will need all of our white pieces, and I think I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to create a little banner. I was going to punch this, but my banner pick-up bunch wound up in my room. Sometimes I do too good of a job cleaning up my space when I'm done, and I'm taking things that need to stay in my recording station and putting it in my space. All right. So I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday in black on this little strip of white. And then I'll set that aside to dry. While I do that, I'm going to create some flowers. And this time I'm going to use these little flowers. So I'm going to use this little partial daisy, both the outline and the inside, and I'm going to stamp those in Sweet Sorbet ink. So I find it easiest to stamp the outline first, but it's personal preference. If you find it easier to stamp the inside first and then add the outline, you can certainly do that. So now I want this a little bit lighter, so I'm going to move some of that ink out of my way and stamp the inside of my flower. Okay, and then those will be die cut with the coordinating die. So now let's turn our attention to the main white front layer. And I'm going to add some stems to create a little bit of a flower. Now this stem piece is straight, and the memory will help keep it straight, but I'm going to show you how I created I'm going to pick this up and just curve it and continue to create my stem. Oops, it's a little more curved than I want it. These photopolymer stamps, you can bend them, which I love. And then I'm going to bend it yet again, a little bit more. And I'm going to create kind of a tiered place to add my flowers. So this is also going to need some leaves. You can add your leaves first or after you add your flowers. It's up to you. And I'm going to add insides as well. And again, for my insides, first I'm going to just slide some of this ink out of the way. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to do anything permanent to your pads. Over time, that ink will just move right back into this space. So no worries there about having a spot on your ink pad that isn't well inked for long. So I'm just going to stamp those insides. All right. So now let's work on adding our flowers. And then I'm going to come in with my lemon lolly and I'm going to add some of these little pretty sprigs. You could also leave those green, but I'm going to treat them kind of like a little flower, and I'm going to put them on a block. And stamp them as kind of like a little background element to create more of a bouquet look. So let's pull out our dies. And there's a coordinating die for all these elements. You could die cut the stem and leaves as well. I'm just going to die cut the flowers for this particular card. We're also going to be die cutting the frame, but let's first do our flowers here. I was going to die cut some of these pieces before the live today, and just to help you on some time so you don't have to wait for me, but I decided to do it all with you. You can use your full-size machine or your mini, it doesn't matter, it's personal preference. Okay. Here are my 3 flowers, and I'm going to set those, kind of arrange them like this. Now you could stamp right down on here if you wanted to, which is what I originally did, and I'm going to raise some of these up on dimensionals. Okay, so there's my 3 little flowers. Now let me die cut this frame piece. So this frame piece doesn't cut out a rectangle. You're going to want to cut your layer the size that you want it, but it is going to add this pretty stitched detail around the edge as well as this eyelet detail to the center. So I'm going to center this. I cut this layer to fit on my card front, and I'm going to make sure that I center that so that I get that pretty stitched detail centered in this layer. So let me run this through. Okay. So here is the pretty detail piece. Isn't that cute? And I'm going to, I need to get these little pieces out. I guess I will have to poke them. I don't have my brush here. So we have this really great brush tool that I keep by my die cutting machine that you just simply roll over, and it takes all these tiny little pieces out if they stick, but you can see that they come out really easy. In all the little eyelet pieces, most of them came out when I die cut it. There we go. I think I have them all. There we go. Isn't that cute? So that's going to just sit over the top, kind of like that. So I'm going to decide where my flowers are going to sit. And then once I do that, I can come in and stamp this cute little sprig piece kind of in the background here. So I want them to be very light. So you can either stamp off once so that you get a nice light image, and Lemon Lolly is a pretty light color. So I'm just going to kind of stamp once, stamp twice, and have those pretty yellow sprigs popping up behind this flower. And I think I'll have some down here as well. And you can just kind of guess where you want those. So I'll move that flower down to hide the ends of them. Yeah, that's pretty like that. I'm happy with that. That was a fun little addition to get another pop of color in there. So I'm going to add these flowers on to my card front layer here. I'm going to just add some mini dimensionals to the back of these. If you don't want mini dimensionals or dimensionalized pieces, you could stamp right on your layer. You don't have to stamp and die cut them if you don't want. And you could also use full-size dimensionals if you wanted. There's no right or wrong here. And because I have this stem down here, I just want to make sure that I cover that up. So I'm going to slide my flower down just a little. And I'm going to wait to put this one on until I have my frame on, because I want it to sit overlapped a little bit with my frame. So now I'm going to just center this in the middle of my card front and then adhere my frame down over it. Okay, now I forgot to grab my strips, so I'm just going to use the edges of my dimensionals, but we do have strips of dimensional. We just want to make sure that you can't see the white through your little eyelet piece. So I'm just setting the little, they actually line up pretty good where the little ridged teeth kind of sit between the, let me also do a strip on the top so the top doesn't collapse in. I'm just going to cut a, well, I guess I can maybe do this. That'll work. It's a lot easier if you have the little strips of dimension, the like dimensional strips that we have. And then this will go right on your card front as well. Whoops, somehow I got a little dot there and there. There we go. So this will just kind of go in the center of your card right over that white layer. There we go. And then now I'm going to add this second little flower, or third little flower, I should say. There. Isn't that cute? Very cute. Now, last but not least, we can take our little sentiment here and cut that to whatever, oh, what is, I'm sorry, Robin, what is the measurement of the die? Let me measure that for you. So this big die is 3 3/4 by, oh, sorry, wait, no. That's my layer. It fits on a 3 3/4 by 5-inch die, but let me, where did I put that big die? There it is. The die itself is it looks like 3 3/8 by 4 5/8, but it can work on any size cardstock layer because it doesn't cut the layer. All it does is put the stitched detail in. So the stitched detail is going to go in at the size of the die, but it's not going to cut the edges. So it could be on a whole card front if you wanted it on a whole card front. I hope that makes sense. All right, so now I'm just going to come in and add my sentiment kind of like this, or you could put it down here too, or down here. You could also layer it like that, but I'm going to keep it here. I wanted these flowers a little closer together, but I'll leave them and overlapped a little bit, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to add a little bit of my seal here and a dimensional here because I have that border already raised up, so I want this to lay flat. And then last but not least, let's bling it up a little bit. So you will receive a piece of the silver Simply Elegant trim so that you can make a bow and add it to your flower stem. I love this stuff. I use it a lot. And again, I'm going to adhere this by taking a glue dot and folding it in on itself to make a little place to put the knot without the knot sticking out, because you don't want the knot to stick to the inside of your envelope if it sticks out beyond the size of your ribbon, right? So we'll just tuck that there. You could put it on any of the flowers. They would be cute on any of them. And then I love the big gems that come in this iridescent gems pack, because you can come in and add flower centers, and you could use whichever color gem you want. There's 3 different colors to choose from in this pack. I'm using kind of the bluish ones because it really reflects the red nicely. And there's your card. So you can decide if you like it with or without the little pop of yellow. And you'll get to make 2 of these. Isn't that cute? What do you think of this bundle? Isn't it a cute bundle? I think it's really sweet. All right, so that is your second card. So we have 1 left. Oh, wait, I didn't finish the inside of it. Oh my goodness, we have to come here. Before we go, we have to finish the inside of this. So we need to stamp our sentiment. We have our happy birthday. So I'm going to say, count me among all the people who are here for you. Friend. That's a nice birthday card. And then last but not least, you can add a little color to the inside as well by stamping some of these cute little sprigs here in the corner. There you go. Now it's finished. There we go. So it's very cute. All right, so I'm stepping them up as we go. So last but not least is this beautiful card. We're going to use a lot of the pretty die cuts that come in this set. Isn't this pretty? And we're going to use a specialty paper and some designer series paper. So let me show you what we're using. So your project kit is going to look like this. It is going to include a piece of the designer series paper from the 6x6 color assortment stacks. They come in 4 different patterns, and you will get one of the patterns that come in the pack in the Parakeet Party to coordinate with your card base. And you're welcome to use either side. It's completely up to you. You will get your card base and all your layers, as well as a piece of this beautiful ribbon, the metallic woven trim in Parakeet Party to match your project. Okay, so let's fold this card base in half and burnish it well so it opens and folds nicely. And then I am going to use, ooh, that's pretty. Do I want polka dots or stripes? Wow, that's a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the stripes. As much as I love polka dots, I don't know. I hope I might have to make it again and let the polka dot side show. So I'm going to adhere this front layer onto my card. Okay. My score line is off just a teeny tiny bit. Let me fix that. There we go. All right. So this is our card front. So now you are also going to receive some of the very pretty in color textured paper. It has a shimmer to it and it has really nice feel. You're going to use this to die cut the decorative element that's going to run down the side, as well as some foliage pieces that we're going to add to our project. This is for stamping flowers. So let me bring our card in. We're going to die cut this edge piece in the eyelet with the eyelet die and create flowers. So the colors for this card are, I'm using Moody Mauve and Berry Burst for the flowers because I think it just gives a little extra element in color variation. And then I'm going to add some Daffodil Delight to the centers with a sponge dauber. I'm going to stamp the leaves in Parakeet Party and die cut them and add them to my card. And then embellish it. So let's do some die cutting. I'm going to first stamp and get my flowers ready. So let's take Berry Burst. I wanted to show you that you don't have to necessarily be messing with moving your ink, that you can also just stamp your flowers, and you can do that by choosing two coordinating colors. And it doesn't have to be monotone necessarily either. You could always do, you know, like a yellow flower, for example, with this inside, put the Moody Mauve inside. So I am going to do this though, because I just want to make sure I get a really pretty inside to my flower. Isn't this a good color combination? I think this is such a good color combination. Now again, remember, oh, I didn't tell you we have bonus days going. So right now, bonus days for the month of July, which started yesterday, so the 6th through the 31st, you are going to earn coupons that you get to use when you shop in August. So that's very exciting. So when you spend at least $50 in my online store, Stampin' Up! Is going to send you a coupon code that's going to get you $5 off any order that you place in August. Isn't that exciting? And there's no limit to how many you can get. So you can shop as much as you want, and as soon as you hit that $50 mark, Stampin' Up! Is going to say, hey, you've earned a coupon code. And then they're going to send you that email. And make sure you keep that email in a safe place, because you're going to need to access the code that's attached in that email so that you can add it to your order when you come back and shop in August. And the best part, yes, even though you're getting those, I am still going to send you your card kits and your gift. So you get to double dip. I will send you your card class and it's going to include your PDF to create your projects and this video. You can come back and watch this video so that you can watch how to put your projects together if you prefer a video to just the PDF. So isn't that great? I love great deals. Okay, so here are your flowers, and you're going to want 3 of these. Okay, and you're going to want some more of your white paper, so make sure you don't stamp right in the center of your flowers, okay? Or I mean in the center of your white piece with your flowers. So now let's come in and stamp some green stems. I'm going to start by doing my centers, and I'm going to want two sets of these. So I'm going to stamp 1 and 2. Hopefully I didn't put those too close together. So now I just want to make sure I get a really nice outline that's lighter than my detail. So I'm going to come in there we go. I got that a little off, but it's okay. It's still going to look cute. You wait and see. So I'm going to die cut my leaves, and I'm going to die cut some detail pieces. So I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to fold it in half and die cut 2 at once. And I'm going to use all these little detail leaves. I'm going to die cut that, a couple of those, a couple of those, a couple of these, and I'm just going to tuck these all in around my flower. So I'm going to die cut these at the same time that I die cut my stems. So let me bring this over to my die cutting machine. And I am also going to want this one, which is my leaves, to die cut my stamped image. So I can put all 4 of these little tiny leaves on this strip and die cut them all at once. So I'll have 8 pieces die cut in one pass, which is really nice. I'll show you this. So here is my plate. Whoops. I like to use Post-it tape to hold my dies in place so they don't shift on me. So I just lay my die over my die cut piece where I want it, and then I just put that down over the top of it, and then it won't move on me. And here are all these little pieces that I cut at once. So there's 2 in each of these. Uh-oh, hopefully that didn't go too far. So I have all those. Now with this other strip, I'm going to die cut this pretty edgelet piece. So there's a lot of little elements to this, and you could simplify it if you want. You don't have to make it just like I'm making it. But I am going to put this through like this at the same time I cut out my other set of leaves. This is all the pieces that I need to create my project. So here's this pretty edgelet piece. All right. So now I'm going to put this down I'm going to decide where I want it centered so that you have the same pretty edge pieces, and then I will trim it, or you can just cut it down first to 5 3/4, no, 4, 5 1/4, right? 5 1/4 is how big that layer is. You could do that first if you wanted. And then I'm just going to put some, one side is a little sparklier than the other. You can decide which way you like it. I like the little element of glimmer that it brings. You don't need a lot of adhesive on this. It's a delicate piece. And you also don't want your adhesive to ooze out into those open areas. So be a little judicious with your liquid glue. So this is just going to go right on the edge of my designer series paper. Okay. So now we can start kind of constructing this. We have 2 sets of leaves, and we have all these fun little pieces that I'm going to poke out of my dies here. And then you'll have to separate them, and hopefully, whoops, hopefully they come apart easily. So there's one. So it looks like they do come apart pretty easily. There's 2. And you can choose to leave these little tiny pieces inside the openings or not. I generally poke them out, but not always. So again, my little brush would have been good. When I die cut these earlier, the insides just stayed right in the die. And I think just because I die cut 2, it's kind of, they're kind of sticking in there. So it's really not bad. There we go. And you will see how I add those in at the very end. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick down my flowers. So I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of all of these. And I want it kind of in the center because I want to make sure I have room to tuck all the leafy pieces underneath, okay? So I'm going to add my center one first. Oh, you know what I did forget to do, but I can do that after. I didn't add my yellow flower center, so I want to make sure that I do that. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my leaves. You can kind of slide them in however you choose. I think I'm going to slide that one in like that, and I'm going to put some adhesive right in the center. Just kind of tuck it underneath like that. This one, I want to show you a little trick, and you can do this or not. So I'm just going to cut this leaf off like that, and then you could make more of these and you could tuck them around. So I'm going to make this one pop out a little further. And this one can come like that. Okay. So now you can just come in with these little pieces and add some adhesive to the back of them. I'm going to bring this in again to kind of absorb some of that adhesive. And I'm just going to tuck these in all the little places. I'm just going to kind of layer them in and around the flowers to add some dimension and detail wherever you want them. They can go wherever you want them to be. You could use all of the same shape, or you could mix and match to use all the different shapes like I'm doing. And this paper is really pretty because it adds an element of shimmer as well as the additional texture. And it's really easy to just slide them underneath the flowers as long as you keep your dimensionals not right at the edges. Isn't this fun? I really love this card. And when you feel you have enough, you can stop. You don't have to necessarily use them all. See where else we need a little, maybe over here. I'm going to put that one behind. So there you go. Isn't that pretty? I love these little detail pieces that Stampin' Up! Builds into their die sets. I think they just do such a fabulous job with that. All right. So now we are going to add a little tiny pop of yellow to our flower centers. So I'm going to take a sponge dauber and just add a tiny little, I want it to just be soft. There's also a stamp that adds more detail to the inside. You can use that if you prefer, but I just wanted it to be a little soft pop of color that works really well by doing that. And then we can stamp our sentiment. So I am going to stamp just a note. And I want it to be in berry bursts so that it's dark. So I'm going to cut a little strip, just like a 1/2 inch strip off the top of my white. I hope that's big enough. I may need a little bigger piece. We'll see. There's plenty if I need more. And it looks like that. Whoops, I cut that. I did that off center. Let's try that again. My top of the note was sticking off the top of the paper. Okay. Going to leave just a little extra space. I would punch this with my banner pick-a-punch if it didn't get moved here off my desk. So since it's gone, I will just trim it. I ordered that punch specifically to leave here, if you remember. Oh goodness. All right, so I'm going to add this down here. So let's take a couple of dimensionals and put that here. And that flower is raised up. So you'll want to put your dimensionals where your flower, where it won't be adhered to the flower, and then a little bit of your seal where it is going to rest on your flower so that it lays nice and flat. Okay? And then last but not least, let's take a little bit of this beautiful Parakeet Party metallic woven ribbon and tie a bow. And again, we're going to add it with a glue dot. You could either fold a glue dot, or this ribbon is really delicate. You could even just put a little dot of Tombow there to stick it down with. We can do that. Just a tiny little dot of Tombow. I'm going to trim my ends here so they're not too long. And I'm going to just push that down in that Tombow and just let it sit for a moment. And while that's sitting, we can add some sparklies. So you can bring in your dots here and decide what color. I think I'm going to use these. And I'm just going to spread it. I wanted to pop off. There we go. I'm going to use a couple of the bigger ones and kind of splatter those throughout here. And then come in with a couple of smaller ones and just create a little variation in, yeah, actually I think I like it just like that. So there's our third project. Isn't that pretty? I hope you like it. So you can see that the patterned paper is so many times you can use any of the prints or colors, and the card turns out lovely. And you will get different patterns in your kit, so you will be able to experiment yourself with the different patterns. So I hope you enjoyed today's projects. I think they're so pretty. Again, this set is called Darling Details, and here's your 6 cards. Isn't that cute? Darling Details. So I hope you enjoyed creating with me today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Thanks, Robin, for creating with me today. So don't forget about bonus days where you will earn coupons with all your purchases totaling at least for every 50 that you purchase, you're going to get a coupon. There is no limit. So bonus days goes till the end of the month. There's the clearance rack refresh. There's the paper pumpkin sale that ends today if you're a subscriber, up to half off all the paper pumpkin products in the online store. But again, if you're not, it's not too late. You can subscribe now. And the online exclusives, get them while you can because they are while supplies last. So thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great week, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.